Hi there, I'm Eddie. Thanks for practicing yoga with me today. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and give my video a thumbs up. Thank you. All right, are you all happy, thrilled, excited, ready, eagerly anticipating what we're going to do today? I hope so, because it's going to be good. Whatever it is, whatever comes out of the hat, it's going to be good, and it's going to be right, and it's going to be a beautiful opportunity for us to align ourselves. So, physical alignment, mental alignment, inner alignment, spiritual alignment, whatever you're looking for, this is an opportunity for you to come into alignment with yourself. Welcome. First of all, welcome. My name is Eddie. If you're new to this class, thank you so much for coming. Very happy to have you here. I always start by saying, please go at your own pace. We are not competing in any way, shape, or form. So if you're new to yoga, you're getting back to yoga, you have an injury, whatever it is, please just take care of yourself. That can mean that you stop for a while and you lie down on your back, or you sit up, or you do child's pose or something like that. It doesn't really matter. I want you to just keep the consistency of your breathing and really get past the idea that your yoga is your pose. Your yoga is not your pose. The pose is a means to the end, which is yoga, a state of mind. Okay, so we are moving towards a state of mind. The physical posture is helping us get there, but when we can't do the physical posture, we still have our breath and we still have the reflection, being able to see into our own mind and realizing whether we are coming into alignment or whether we are moving away from that alignment. I was working with someone yesterday. It was his first class or second class he'd ever done yoga before. We were working individually. And the criticism that comes out, oh, I can't do this, I'm not good at this, I'm not flexible at this, I don't know what I'm doing. All of those voices that we carry inside of our head are hindrances. So let this be a practice of releasing that judgmental voice, because there's no place to have it here. It doesn't serve you in any way. So let it go, have fun, be yourself, have a good time, and do what you can do, and you'll be wonderful. So thank you so much for coming. So I gave you one spiel. That was not an intentional spiel. That was just a stream of consciousness spiel. But I had another spiel, spiel number 2, in my head that I wanted to share with you very briefly. This is something that I've been working on for the last couple of days, which is when you notice that you are experiencing a feeling of satisfaction, any kind of satisfaction, like, satisfaction sounds like what? Like you have a sip of your coffee. That's a feeling of satisfaction, perhaps. Your tea, whatever it is. You're enjoying your meal. You're enjoying someone that you're with. You're just randomly feeling good. You're stepping outside and getting a fresher breath air. And there's a feeling of satisfaction, right? Not overwhelming joy, bliss, whatever, just a feeling of satisfaction. When you notice that you are experiencing a feeling of satisfaction, if you ask yourself, why am I satisfied right now? Why am I satisfied right now? And then you start to mull that over for a moment. Like, so let's say you've stepped outside and you're getting a fresher breath air. I feel satisfied because I'm giving myself a break. I'm having a little bit of relaxation. I feel satisfied because the sun feels good on my skin. I feel satisfied because the sky is blue today and it's just nice to see the open space. I feel satisfied because when I'm outside, I'm noticing the branches and the buds and the blossoms that are starting to come onto the trees. Whatever it is, you start to list to yourself, why am I satisfied? And what you're doing is you are starting to build a momentum around the quality of satisfaction. Now, that may not seem like a really big deal, but the truth is that we spend so much time doing the opposite. Let's talk about, for just one moment, dissatisfaction, also known as complaint. Right? What do you do the moment you start complaining about something, right? You don't just go, oh, I don't like that. You go, I don't like that because of this, and because that person was rude, and because the temperature was off, and because they did this, and then they said that, and then that spun me out, and so then I was driving, and then I did, then the wrong, when we start to complain, it goes, and the momentum builds and builds and builds and builds and builds. So all I'm saying is that if you will start to notice the quality that you want, which is satisfaction, versus the quality that you don't want, dissatisfaction, ask yourself why I'm satisfied. You can begin to amplify that. We're so trained to amplify dissatisfaction, but by asking yourself, why am I satisfied right now? Do it 1,000 times. Anytime you notice I'm satisfied, today, let's just start with today. Anytime you notice the inkling of satisfaction, why am I satisfied? And then go with it. Hands together at your heart. That is my 2 bits, and those are some valuable bits, let me tell you. It works. Rub your hands together. If you want to build momentum of satisfaction versus dissatisfaction, start to rampage about why you feel good. Here we go. Hands to your heart. Slow, deep breath in. Hold it. Yes. Exhale it out. Good. Now be powerful. Inhale. Hold it. Exhale. It can be tremendously satisfying to breathe. Inhale. Hold it. Exhale. Beautiful. Mantra Om 3 times. Om. Again, inhale. Om. And one more time. Inhale it. Om. All right. Beautiful. Don't you feel good already? Like 1 minute? All we did was take 3 breaths and chant. Ah, okay. Come on up to standing. The whole point of this practice, I think, is to give us a sense of relief, to help us move into a state of feeling good. Now, I want you to stand right here. You're going to be looking forward. I'm looking to the side. Obviously, I'm going to the camera. Maybe a little crack in your knees. It doesn't have to be terribly deep. Put your hands on the fronts of your thighs like this. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, sweep your arms down. Let's do it again. Inhale up. Exhale down. So what are we doing? We're opening up the shoulders. And we're deepening the breath at the same time. Inhale. Exhale. And we're coordinating breath and movement. Who knew something so simple could have so many effects? Inhale up. Hold your breath for just a moment. Hold it in. Exhale it out. Yes. Let's do that again. Inhale it up. Hold. Exhale it down. And again, up. Hold it. Beautiful. Exhale it down. We're going to add one more element, which is standing on your tippy toes. Inhale, come up. Hold it. Get a little bit taller. Exhale it down. Again, up. Tiptoes hold. Strengthen your calves. Exhale it down. Last one. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Samastitihi. Step your feet together so that they're touching. Thumbs against your breastbone. Elbows point out to the side. Stand up tall for just a moment. Maybe close your eyes. Inhale, reach your arms up above you. Now, what did we do? We brought our legs together to touch. Take your hands, reach them up to the ceiling. Turn your palms so they are facing up. And then I want you to take your right hand, grab your left wrist, and start to pull yourself over. Pull yourself over towards your right side. Okay, pretty good. Now maybe you want to go a little bit further. So you're going to take your left foot, cross the ankle in front of your right foot, and take it over even more. Oh, yes. Why am I satisfied right now? I love the feeling of breath coming in and out. I like the feeling of opening my body. Oh, I like the feeling of peace that comes over my mind when I'm present. Inhale up. Ah, release your hands down, uncross your legs. Doesn't that feel good? Take your hands up, palms to the ceiling. You're, excuse me, you're going to take your left hand. It's going to grab your right wrist, push that baby up to the ceiling, and then start to pull your arm over to your left side. Now, I'm not just pulling my arm, but I'm actually allowing my hips to shift. My hips are shifting out to the right. My arms are going to the left. And then I'm going to take the right foot, cross it in front of the left foot. Oh, yeah. And breathe in here. Isn't that good? Inhale, come on, all the way up. Exhale, release your hands down. Mountain pose. Take a breath in and out. Now we got a lot of energy in the arms, so let it settle for a moment. Let it just kind of roll down your arms into your fingertips and down through your legs, down into your feet. Perfect, perfect, perfect. All right, get to the top of your mat. Top of the mat to you. Now, I'd like you to bend your knees perhaps a little bit. Maybe you're going to bounce them a little bit. We're going to put our hands together at our heart. If we are tighter in the forward bend, if our legs are stiff, if our back is stiff, bend your knees deeply. If you're more flexible, straighten your legs more. Inhale, we go up. Breathe out, we go down. Oh, look forward and fold to your legs. Now, if you're feeling really tight, you could always keep your hands on your knees. Inhale, sweep out and up. I'll demonstrate that on the next one if you want a modification. Let's go up with the arms. Exhale, go down. I'm just going to put my hands on my thighs just above my knees, and then my arms help. That's an option. Look forward. Fold to the legs. Sweep out, come up. Hands at your heart. Are you feeling the flow of your breath? Inhale. Exhale down. Maybe you touch your feet or the floor. Look forward. Exhale, fold. Arms out, chest up. Hands to your heart. Last one. Inhale. And fold it down. Oh, we go down. Look forward and inhale. Okay, into that forward bend. Let's take a moment. We're just going to be here for a second. Wrap your hands perhaps around your elbows to start. I think we'll all start like that. Let's just do a very passive, dangling variation. And I'm going to just kind of swing my upper body right to left, and that'll kind of loosen out the back a little bit. Maybe shake out my head slightly. And after a while, we're going to find the middle, and we're just going to surrender in it. Perfect. Take one more breath in. Put your hands down on the ground, even if you have to bend your knees. Go ahead and take your feet, turn them outward just a little bit, and squat here. So I've done a frog kind of a position here. I've got my toes in the ground, I've got my heels up, and I'm going to bring my hands together at the heart. So you can stretch your feet out a little bit like this. Maybe you want to reach your arms up to the ceiling for a couple of breaths. Just open it up. Let that sun shine in, a little back bend. Gorgeous. Now what we're going to do is roll down. Use your hands if you need to support yourself. Roll onto your back. Hug your knees in. Maybe you're going to rock and roll once or twice. And then we're coming to a tabletop pose. So we've got a little core work in here. Now, what I want to work on today is kind of the essence of plank pose, but we're going to do it on our back. So your knees are bent, your feet are flat on the floor. And I want you to take your hands first and just go up to the ceiling. Now imagine you're holding a basketball between your hands and grip that ball, squeeze it from the outside in. Clearly, your hands will not touch if there is a basketball between them. And then there's kind of a ball between your knees as well, and you're holding that and you're squeezing it. And do you feel how, when you're doing this, your lower back is now engaged with the floor? Your tummy is engaged, you're scooping, you're hollowing your gut, and your lower back is in the ground. Now, what I'm going to do is try and roll my upper back off the ground. If I can't do that, I could stay where I was. If I need to support my head, I could take one hand and support my head. And then I want to extend one leg forward. So you can see, beautiful bend in the left knee, beautiful extension of the right leg, arms reaching out. And then I'm going to switch that. So the core work that we're doing right now is what your plank pose should feel like. Take one more. And then come onto your back for just a moment. Put your feet on the ground. Now I'm going to ask you to exaggerate this, but feel along with me. With your feet on the ground, notice how your lower back lifts up away from the floor. Can you feel that? You could probably even slip your hand underneath your lower back if you want to try. So we naturally have a dip there. But when we're doing core work, such as plank pose, we don't want the dip there. We want to flatten that out. We want to pull the belly button down. So, excuse me, go ahead and squeeze your belly button down towards the ground. Think of tucking your tail up and flatten that lower back right now. Your feet are still on the ground. We're going to do one more core strengthener here, and this is really what I've been building towards. Take your knees back to the tabletop position and take your hands, reach them up to the ceiling, and kind of pull your hands back, make stop signs at the ceiling. So if you were in plank pose, your hands would be flat on the ground. Right now, the palms are flat against the ceiling. That's what we're imagining. Okay? Take a deep breath there and push. And now I want you to try and raise the ceiling. So lift your shoulders up off the ground a little bit. And either keep your legs just like they are, or if you're extremely strong here with me, take both legs forward. But that is a challenging posture. Palms up to the ceiling, legs are bent or straight for 3 more. This is plank pose. 1 more. And pull it in. You can rock back, you can rock forward, come right through sitting, roll to your side, whatever you like. Come onto your hands and your knees. Cat-cow with me for just a moment here. Dip your lower back. Feel that? That's the opposite of what we want in a plank pose. Exhale, round your back, get that core engaged. That's the feeling we're going to go for. Tail down. Inhale, tail up. We don't want that in plank. Exhale, round. Let's do it one more time. Inhale. Now I'm going to have you exhale, come into that gently rounded variation. Maybe don't go as deeply rounded as you can, but get into that rounded variation. Hold it, take 1 foot back, take 2 feet back, and you're in plank. If it's too much, keep your knees on the ground. But get that feeling we just had a moment ago on our back. It should feel like pins going into your belly. It should burn. It should sting a little bit. 2 more. Feel those abdominal muscles working. Inhale and take yourself back, downward facing dog, my lord. Downward dog. Why do I feel satisfied right now? If you don't feel satisfied, you might notice that perhaps you're perpetuating thoughts that are leading you down a path that doesn't feel good. Maybe you'd be more satisfied if you came down into child's pose, and that's your right. All right, everybody. I think we have to do a little back bend sequence. Inhale, come on forward into your plank. Once again, we were just there. Now, don't lose it. How about we'll drop the knees on the first one? We're going to exhale, lower down to our tummy. Roll those shoulders back, cobra pose, and exhale, come on down. Think of a caterpillar moving forward. Inhale up, pull down. Inhale up, pull down. What do I mean by pull? Pull the floor back. Do it again. Inhale up, pull the floor, and down. Right? So you're extending as you go. Inhale up, pull the floor, stay, breathe. How do I pull the floor? Don't just push down. Claw it with your fingertips and try and pull the floor towards you. You don't have to be high in the back. But get those arms engaged. Get the extension of the spine. One more. Exhale, come on down. Word facing dog. If you'd like to join me, lift your right leg all the way to the ceiling, everybody. Not too shabby. Leg goes up. Second side. Left leg is going to go up. Perfect. Let's put our foot down on the ground. We're going to look to the top of the mat, bend our knees, lightly step or jump, get yourself to the front, and open yourself and fold all the way down. And I'm not done with you just yet. So we did a forward bend earlier. Let's do it again, but now the variation, if we can, we're going to interlace our hands behind our back, squeeze, and pull your hands over your head. So yesterday in our class, we were doing this pose, and I gave a description that one of the students afterwards told me she really liked. So when you're here, and you could be holding a towel between your hands if you can't interlace your hands together, or your hands can be on the ground. But if you're here, try pushing your knuckles up to the ceiling. Rather than letting your shoulders collapse and pinch your neck, relax your head and push your knuckles up to the sky. And that's really going to create a beautiful opening through your shoulders. We reach the arms overhead and bend your knees, bend your knees, bend your knees. Inhale, reach your arms forward. Come on, all the way up, chair pose. Hold it for me about 3 or 4 breaths. Good. Something a little bit different here. Keep those knees bent. Exhale, put your hands down on your knees. Put your hands on your knees, but keep them bent. What I did was I turned my fingers in towards one another. Fingers point in towards one another. Inhale, lift your chest. Breathe out your mouth round. Exhale. Hold your breath out for just a moment. Tuck your chin, close your eyes. Inhale. Exhale, round. So you're doing cat-cow. Holding your breath out. Can you scoop your belly up? 2 more. Inhale. You're going to get lightheaded. Exhale. Hold it out. Round your back. Maybe wiggle your butt a little bit, and that'll help you scoop your gut up. Inhale. Last one. Exhale. Hold it out. Maybe wiggle, wiggle. Now stand. Inhale up. As soon as you get up, clench your buns, squeeze your legs, open your eyes, look at a point. If you're stable and balanced and you're not going to pass out, close your eyes. Yes, step your feet together so that they're touching. Mountain pose. Good. Why are you satisfied right now? Because I'm doing something good for myself, because I'm awakening the flow of energy and I can feel that. I like how that feels. I like feeling my body tingle. I like knowing that I'm alive. I like knowing that my body is restoring and regenerating right now. I like knowing that I'm working on my flexibility. Ah, hands together. At your heart, everybody. Correction, arms out to the side like the letter T. Right foot will stay right there. Left foot is going to step back. Now I'm going to stand on my left big toe. Many of you know what's coming. This is warrior three. If you're unstable, you might put your hand on a wall or put your hand on a chair or keep your big toe on the ground. If you can, lift that left foot up off the ground, folding into your warrior three. This is a balancing pose. Extend that leg back. Point those toes down, the back toes down. Very good. Try and touch the floor or put your hands on blocks. This is tough. This is called standing split. Fold yourself in towards that leg. If it's too much for you, put the foot back down on the ground. But if you can, lift it up. Yes. Now, step back, way back. You're going to find yourself in a lunge. This whole sequence that I'm going to take you through right now could be done with your back knee on the ground. So if you are wobbly, put your back knee down on the ground. Otherwise, bring yourself up into the high lunge with your back knee lifted. I think everybody knows this sequence. Lovely little lunging sequence. Right hand comes onto the right hip. Left hand is going to reach over your ear to the right wall. Okay, so I'm holding my lunge, but I'm leaning the body over to the right. Leaning the torso, I should say, over to the right. Perfect. Now take your right hand. It could stay on your hip, but if you can, bring it around and either catch the leg, the left leg, or even put your left hand out, your right hand outside your left leg. I hope I said that well enough. Right hand can stay on the hip, or the right hand can catch the left leg. Now turn. Turn and look back. If you can't look back, look forward. Reach that top arm up, 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 and twist. You can take prayer twist, left elbow outside the right knee, palm in palm. Or you can take a lighter twist, left hand on the ground, right hand comes up to the ceiling, open. Very good. Put your hand down on the ground. Now, I'm not done with you just yet. You may want to use blocks right here. This is our next hamstring stretch. Pull your front leg as straight as you can make it. My stance is wide. You can be in high or low lunge. Pull your leg as straight as you can take it, and then try and lift the ball of your foot, meaning your toes come up, only the heel is resting on the floor, if you can manage it. And fold. Ooh, deep, deep, deep hamstring stretch. Very nice. Very, very nice. Go ahead and step back to downward facing dog. Step back to downward facing dog. And I want you to run through the push-up cycle if you're going to do it. And we take it back to downward facing dog. Look forward to the top of your mat. Gently step or jump your feet forward. Open and fold. Sweep out, come on up. If you start from the premise, I'm not good enough, I'm not flexible enough, I'm not young enough, I'm not this enough, I'm not that enough, you can never find the satisfaction. But if you just will tune in right now, let your mind go, tune in before we do side two, feel that your body has life force energy flowing through it. You have tingling, you have vibration, You are a magnet for the source energy of the universe. It flows to you and through you freely. You don't have to be any more. You don't have to be any younger. You don't have to be any prettier. You don't have to be anything. You have it right here, right now. Right? And that's satisfaction, to be able to receive right now in the moment. Good. Take your right leg back. Take your arms out to the side. You could stand with your toes on the ground. That would be fine. If that's the balance you can do, you can hold a wall, or you can lift that back leg up and begin to float. So good. Let's take one more. Standing split, hands go down, right leg goes up. Maybe your hands are on blocks. Maybe both feet are on the ground. You'll figure it out. Inhale, and I want you to come back, way back into your lunge. Now, again, if you're a little bit less balanced, then you can always put your knee on the ground, and it's virtually the same poses. Inhale, your hands will come up into the high lunge or the low lunge. Very nice. Now from here, side lunge, left hand on the left hip, right hand reaching over. You could stay just like this, or you could pull that left hand around behind you and you're going to try and catch the outside of the right leg. That just gives me a little bit more leverage, but I can still do it either way. I'm going to twist, look back. And elbow is going to come outside my knee for prayer twist. Right hand's going to come to the ground for gentler twist, your choice. Maybe your arm comes over your ear if your hand is on the ground. Whatever you like. Hand to the floor. Slowly straighten your front leg. Again, back knee could be on the ground. It would be fine. Lift the ball of the right foot. Maybe hands are on blocks. Maybe they're not. Maybe the knee is bent a little. Oh. Perfect. Go ahead and put your foot back, downward facing dog. Those of us that want to run through our push-up, go crazy, do it. Downward dog. Very nice. I'd like you to come down onto your knees, sit back on your heels, keep your buns as low as they can go, and walk your hands over to the right. Come over to the left. Good. All right. Okay, you're going to do one of two things. You're either going to stay seated forward in child's pose, or you're going to join me and sit up on your heels. And we're going to be here for the next minute, so make the right choice, yeah? Either be in child's pose, or cross your legs and sit up, or sit up on your heels would be fine too. Put your hands in your lap. Take about 3 or 4 deep breaths. And just start to mold the clay. Start to press everything into the center and upward like you're building a column. Again, you can be in child's, you can be cross-legged, you can be on your heels. Good. Molding, shaping the energy inward and upward, filling up towards your brain. Let your breath go if you haven't already. And just for one moment, if you feel any sense of satisfaction, ask yourself, why am I satisfied right now? And then try and identify the reasons. That's the way. It's really a very easy thing to do. Again, just the thing that we always do with dissatisfaction, just turn the coin over and start to do it with satisfaction. When you feel good, start listing the reasons why. Just like we do when we feel bad. Okay? Come on up to your hands and your knees up. You know what? Why the heck not? Let's stretch out our forearms and our wrists. Some of you won't like this. Hopefully you'll find a way to manage it. It's a very deep forearm stretch. Okay, what I'm going to do is take my left hand, that's my left hand, I'm going to turn it counterclockwise and back. I could stop right there. If I can't turn it all the way back, I could turn it 3/4 of the way, something like that. And if I can, I'm going to take my right hand, turn it clockwise and back. Look at that. So you got this pose. Why don't we do a few cat-cows here? Ooh, how about that? Well, that's an interesting sensation, right? If it's too much, come out of it. And then go ahead and stop. Walk your hands, if you can now, closer, closer, closer together. Try and let the insides of your hands, your pinky side of your hand, touch one another. Come out when you need to. Now I'm going to slowly try and bend my elbows back towards my body a little bit. It's going to be a micro bend in your elbows. Only as much as you can handle, micro bend. As you're bending, let's say your left elbow, try and pick the left palm up off the ground so you're stretching your fingers a little bit. Give your fingers some love. They need to be stretched too. And then go to the second side. Or if you can, lift both palms up together. Yes. And then bring your hands back out of it. You might sit back for a moment and just shake them out. We'll come off our wrists right now. But that's a good one. That's a good one. Stretch your wrists, stretch your forearms. Okay. And if you want, we're going to fold the mat over once or twice, the top of the mat. Now, if you don't need that fold, then just put your knees on the mat. Or if you want to put your knees on a pad, you're more than welcome to do that. Inhale, hands going up to the ceiling. I'd like you to interlace your fingers above your head and undo your index finger. Okay? Now, just like when we were in plank pose earlier, the loose part of your back is the lower back. That's why people always hurt their lower back. They always pinch their lower back. It's because you're not engaging the core strength and you're letting your lower back dip. So right now, someone's going to punch you in the stomach. Squeeze your stomach. Okay? Guard yourself. They're going to punch you. Feel that way that you kind of just pulled the belly in, tightened your abdomen. Now hold that, but you got to breathe. Hold that and open the back bend. I don't care if you go a millimeter back or if you put your head on the floor. Just open the back bend while maintaining, while maintaining the core engagement. What happens is the further you go back, the more inclined you're going to be to release the tail, to release the abdomen, and then you get the pinch. Don't do the pinch. And slowly come on all the way down. Roll your shoulders out just a little bit. Okay, take a turn to your right. Take a turn to your right, which means that your left knee is going to be on the folded part of your mat. And then you're going to take your right leg and it's going to go out to the side. Most of you know this one. This is called Parigasana. Okay, take your right hand, extend it out, and you turn your palm face up. Your left hand comes up and overhead, and you are holding a hula hoop between your arms. We are not trying to bring the hands together. We are trying to wrap around a hula hoop. And as you're doing that, push through your right knee. Push through your left knee. Push through the bottom knee, the grounding, the supporting leg. Push through it, lift up, come over, and then bring it all the way up. Now, before you fully come out of that, you're going to take your right leg, bend it. See how I slid it back just a little bit so that I can get into this position where the knee is basically over the heel. And then I'm going to just lean into it. Lean forward into it. All you got to do is put your hand against your knee. Take your opposite arm. It's going to go up. Maybe it's going to come over your ear. Not too bad. I'm looking for the satisfaction in the moment. Come on back up. And slowly release. Go to the other side. You know, there's going to be those days, there's going to be those moments where it doesn't matter what you're doing, whether it's your yoga or even your favorite hobby, and you're just not going to be feeling it. You're not going to be into it, right? You don't have to punish yourself in those moments. Take your top arm, come on up and over. If you can't find satisfaction, step back for a moment, step back for a day. Good. All right, inhale, come on all the way back up, bend that front knee. You know, over the course of the pandemic, you're going to push your elbow against your knee, your top arm's going to come up and over you. For about 4 or 5 months, I did not touch my guitar, and I love my guitar, and I love writing songs, and I love playing songs. But I noticed that every time I was trying to pick up my guitar, I was just feeling bad. I'm not good enough, it doesn't sound right. And so I put it in my closet, and I didn't touch it for like 4 months. Yesterday, I played for like 2 hours and had the time of my life. I sometimes need a break. Come on back. But we want to be in satisfaction. We don't want to try and push through dissatisfaction because you only amplify it. Put your hands on the small of your back. Squeeze your elbows together. Tuck your tail under a little bit. Lift your heart. Now, we can't always just like put your job away. You can't put your boss in the closet, not deal with them for 4 months. You know, so some things are a little easier. Maybe we're going to reach back with our hand. But even if there are certain things that we have to endure that we don't enjoy as much, we could try and focus on the things that we do enjoy. When we notice satisfaction, why do I feel it? Come on back and up. That's so good. All right, everybody. Let's come on to our backs. Bring yourself down onto your back. Nice little back bend sequence there. Onto your back. Okay. Hug both of your knees into your chest for just a second. Maybe you roll a little bit side to side, massage your back. Good. I'll start with the left side. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to stretch the right leg down on the floor. We're going to take our, what did I say? Right leg on the floor, so it's your left knee that's into your chest. Take your left leg, let's go up to the sky with it. Now, first stage, we're going to hold back behind the thigh, back behind the hamstring. Maybe we're going to wiggle the toes, circle the foot a little bit, something. Many of you may choose to stay right there. Maybe you want to throw a strap over your foot. Stage two, roll yourself up. So I'm kind of pulling against my leg. I'm engaging my core. I'm coming up, and then I'm going to slide my hand as high as it'll go. Like maybe I'm going to come right behind my calf. Maybe I'm going to come behind my ankle. Maybe I'm going to catch my foot. Ooh, gets deeper. Now I want to watch out for my neck. I don't want to pinch my neck. So shoulders have to stay down. Lifting that leg. And slowly, we're going to lower all the way down to the ground. Let's do the second side. Pull your right knee in, take your left leg straight, and stretch your right leg up to the ceiling. For those of you that have tight hamstrings, really one of the best ways to stretch them is on your back, and particularly using a strap or a belt around your foot. It can be really, really a good way to do it because you maintain a flat back. You're not rounding to do the stretch. So you could easily throw a strap over your foot right now. But when we're ready for more, we're going to engage through the belly. So you're using that core strength, lifting yourself up, and take your hand as high as it'll go. Maybe it's the ankle or maybe it's the foot. The deepest place would be to grab behind your heel. Pull it in. That's the way. Come on down once again. Shoulder stand, shoulder stand. Roll back into it if you know what it is. If you're not going to do shoulder stand, either go to a wall and put your legs up the wall, or just sit on top of your hands and kind of take your feet up to the ceiling. I'll demonstrate full shoulder stand if you need to see. I'm going to roll back, support my back, legs are going to go up. And I'm going to offer you, if you can do it, a particular breath today in your shoulder stand or with your legs up the wall. And that breath is inhale, exhale, pause, hold your breath out. Inhale, exhale, hold your breath out. You don't even have to squeeze, just 2-3 seconds with no breath in your body. Try that for a couple rounds. Last one with a breath pattern like that, then go back to a normal breath. And we're going to repeat our hamstring stretches. So if you're on your back, you'll just pull, say, your right leg in. If you are in shoulder stand, what you're going to do is take your right leg, drop it over your head towards plow pose. Now maybe the foot will come all the way down to the ground, or maybe it won't. Take a couple breaths there. And switch the legs. So if you're on your back, you're going to hug your left leg into the hamstring stretch. If you're in shoulder stand, you're going to drop your left foot down to plow. And then slowly come on down. Bring your knees into your forehead. You could take both feet into plow pose, or you could simply just roll down onto your back. Put your feet on the ground for just a second. Take a moment to adjust. Notice if it's the same for you. For me, when I start to really relax, I've done a lot of the practice, breath's been deep, come out of something like shoulder stand. It's the third eye point that starts to pull at me. So easy to keep my eyes focused in the front of my brain. Quiet, space, openness. Now we're going to try and move into fish pose. If you don't know how to get into this pose, you should watch me for just a moment. The posture is all in the upper back. It's not in the hips. So first thing I'm going to do is slide my hands underneath my seat, and then I'm going to stretch my legs away. So I'm sitting on my hands. I'm sitting on my wrists. My thumbs are touching one another. Go right into it if you know it. If you don't know it, you get into this by pushing down through your elbows, arching the breastbone up, and then letting the top of the head start to move back towards the floor. Now, if you can't do that, maybe just stay and rest on your back for a moment. If you're doing it easily and you want to add breath of fire, let's do a couple rounds of breath of fire. Inhale. Good. Exhale. Come on down onto your back. So lovely. So lovely. Bend your knees. Put your feet on the floor. Once again, just tune in. Third eye point. Do you feel the magnetic pull? And don't you just want to go along with it? Don't you want it to just suck you into that vortex of meditation? Keep your eyes and your attention there at your third eye point. Inhale, lift your hips up to the ceiling. Interlace your hands beneath you for bridge pose. Knees are bent, feet are on the floor, hips are up, bridge. Some of you, maybe you want to come into wheel pose. If you do, take your hands by your ears and push it on up. And then slowly you're going to come down onto your back. Okay, for our final twist, this is what I'm going to offer. It's a cross-leg twist. If you don't like it, do your favorite twist. Walk your knees and your feet together so that they're touching. Your knees are bent. Walk your feet and knees together. And then cross your right thigh over your left thigh. So you're going to twine. Right leg is on top. Now, ideally, before you twist, shift your hips a little bit to the right and then drop your knees down to the left. And I got a nice little pop. Let's go to the second side. So balance yourself out. Come to the middle. And cross your left leg on top of your right. Ideally, before you would drop into the twist, you would shift your hips a little bit to the left and you would drop your knees down to the right side and twist. I feel satisfied because I love going into that timeless state where we've done 55 minutes of yoga and it feels like we've done 5 minutes. I'm satisfied because I love being engaged in what I'm doing. I love the feeling of focus. I love the feeling of clarity. I love the feeling of peace that's now washing over me. It's easy to get into your own rampage of satisfaction if you just ask yourself, why do I feel satisfied right now? Come on back through the center. And what greater satisfaction than Shavasana, a beautiful rest after the effort that we've made. Go ahead and balance yourself on your mat. Stretch your legs away on the ground. Take your palms, turn them up to the ceiling. Try and soften your breath mechanism. So if you're constricting in your throat like we do when we're practicing Ujjayi breathing, try and soften your throat, maybe stick out your tongue, open your jaw. And as you let it close, nice and quiet. Take a couple breaths in and out. Maybe reach your arms overhead. Stretch, stretch. Very good. Hug your knees into your body. If you want to rock up, you can. If you want to roll to a side, you can. Lovely, lovely, lovely. So you bring yourself up slowly to a sitting position. Good. All right. Let's bring our hands together, our heart. Notice if you're satisfied with your practice. Notice if you're satisfied with yourself. Notice if you're satisfied with your world right now. Let's finish with an Om. Take a deep breath in. Rub your hands together, make them nice and warm. Take them down and over your head and your body. Namaste. Thanks for practicing with me today. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and give this video a thumbs up.